Oh, hey there. So I had a friend recently and he said, how is it that you love people? I'm like, I don't know. How is it that you don't love people? He goes, I mean, I love dogs. I'm like, that's fair. I can understand that. And he goes, but how do you love people? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how or why you love people. And I think that what it boils down to is this, okay? When somebody is kind to me, it reminds me how good that feels, okay? I want to give you a real life example. A couple years back in Texas, there was what we call Snowmageddon. Everybody up north would have laughed at this. They probably still are laughing at us from years ago. Our energy grid was not prepared for it, blah, blah, blah. We're not used to extreme cold weather. And there was what we consider to be extremely cold weather. Now, I realize that up north, you guys are like, we call that, early fall or something like that. Nevertheless, we were unprepared for it. Our power grid went down. I didn't have power for 3 days or something. It was a while. 36. I don't remember. It was a long time. A lot of people didn't have power for many days, and I think even up to several weeks. Okay, because it was just we didn't know how to handle it. We were unprepared. We were dum-dums. Now, it was very cold. And my house had some heat in it, but I've got a large house with tall ceilings, and quickly the heat was like, see you later, John, maybe around summertime or so. And I could see my breath in my house, and I was bundled up and I was freezing. Obviously there's nothing to do. You can't see anything. There's no phone, internet, any of the things that you're used to, right? And I was bundled up in I don't know how many layers. I was still like, I'm so cold. I could see my breath in my own house. And I'm like, what could I make fire with? Of course, we couldn't drive anywhere because our roads are also unprepared. And I was like, I've got some candles. And so I was like, I'll light those candles. It did nothing at all. And I had a friend, I think I posted something about it. And I had a friend and he was like, come over to my house. Look, I have heat, I have food, I have a bed. Come over to my house. I'm like, I don't want to put you out. It's okay. I'll just suffer over here in silence. He's like, John, come over to my house. Seriously, like, just come over. I'm like, no, I don't want to be a bother. And he's like, come to my house. And so I was like, well, if you insist. And I went over to his house. I was like, I'll just stay for a little while and just like defrost because I'm like pretty frozen. So I sat there and he's like, you want some food? I'm like, no, I don't want to put you out. But then he fed me. And then I was warm and I was like, I'm just going to go home. He goes, just stay the night. We've got a bed. And I was like, no, I'll just, I don't want to be a bother. I get home literally freezing. I was like, this is a horrible mistake. And he called me up. He goes, I can't have you sleep in that house. Just come over to my house. And so I was like, all right, well, if you insist. And I did. It was warm. It was wonderful. The bed was comfortable. There was food there. I don't have food in my house. So that's no secret. And I remember thinking, I guess I forgot what it feels like to be in a bad situation, this kind of a bad situation. And as soon as I got power, I was like, I want to help people. That's what I want to do. I want to help people so that they can feel the way that I feel right now, so that they can feel like warm and comforted and food and love and help and all these things. And so immediately I went and just started, I'm like, I can't do much. Like, I'm not a smart guy, but I can fix people's pipes because I know a plumber. And he looks a lot like me in these deep fake videos that they're making. Nevertheless, I went around and fixed 150 leaks or something like that. It was a lot of leaks, but it was just one after another, after another, after another. And most of them, they couldn't afford it. And me and all my plumber friends were all just like, this is how much it should cost. And they kind of look like, but we don't have that. And we're like, it's okay. Have a good day. God bless you. And we'd go on our way because we're not vultures. We make enough money and we don't want to take advantage of people when tragedy comes, because I don't think that's right. I think that is reprehensible. Nevertheless, also, when I got saved and somebody was kind to me, I was like, I want people to feel the feeling of love that I feel. And even when people are mean to me, like even decades have passed and, people are mean to me and they say hateful things, and I've had plenty of hateful things said to me and about me. I just think, you know what? You're not my enemy. You are the victim of my enemy. And our strongest weapon is not guns. Our strongest weapon is love. And I can love you no matter what, because I know what it feels like to not be loved. I know what it feels like to be alone. I know what it feels like to be betrayed. I know what it feels like to be hopeless. And if I can help somebody else to not feel those things and to feel like maybe there is some ray of hope, maybe there is some answer, maybe somebody does care, maybe life is worth living. And if I can help anybody lean in that direction, I'm like, I will give my life for that, because that's important. And that is how I love people. I love animals too. I think they're pretty cool. Love you guys.